Oh, man. Blame the DNC.
I mean, you debated against then Vice President Trump.
Dude, everyone, literally everyone. I thought it was just gonna be like the lefties, dude.
Vaush is broken. This dude can't handle what the DNC has done to the Democratic Party by shoving Joe Biden down everyone's throat and lying about his mental decline. And honestly, I can't really blame him for that one. We have all heard everyone in the media and the Democratic Party assure us all that he is totally cogent and even quite mentally sharp. But we all know just how true that is. They were saying that all the clips were taken out of context, or it's just his stutter. Well, let's take a look at Vaush's mental completely shatter as he listens to what the media is saying now about Joe Biden, when lefties like him were screaming from the very start that they didn't want Joe Biden at all. And now that they are essentially stuck with him, they're having an existential crisis because they know Trump is inevitable now.
Oh, man. Blame the DNC. It's not even Biden's fault necessarily. The man can't help being super old. Yeah, at least if Biden had had like a heart attack or a stroke on stage, he would have, like, you know, been martyred a little bit. Could have had like a Ronald Reagan bounce back. I don't know. MSNBC is reporting that Dems in Congress are talking an open convention. There's no fucking way, dude. There's no way. There you go. CNN reporting that senior Dems are thinking about getting Biden to step down as a candidate. They can't make him step down. It's not going to happen. It's not possible. This tweet looks like he's moving forward. Yeah, unbelievably, like, even though his debate performance was so bad that the question of him dropping out right before the convention is being fielded, they're still going ahead with him. Like, if the situation is so bad that people are actually talking about replacing you with somebody else, maybe you should take that question seriously. Even Morning Joe? Even Morning Joe?
Saying, without any apologies, that I love Joe Biden and Jill, and I will gladly debate anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere over the issue of whether Joe Biden has been the most effective president.
We're leading up to the biggest butt of all time. We've got some Kim Kardashian breaks the internet shit building up.
In passing bipartisan legislation, in expanding NATO, and responding to the rising Chet, the strongest military relative to the rest of the world.
God, holy shit.
The others would argue.
We're pumping.
His presidency has been an unqualified success. If, however, you believe, as do I,
you guys need to understand, like, where we are when Morning Joe, when he's leading up to this. I mean, Jesus.
Just how dark of a place a second Donald Trump term will take America. Then I think it's critical that we ask the same questions about this man I love.
This is how a parent tells their, like, 4-year-old kid that the dog got run over in the back. Like, the dog's still out there with a tire tread over its stomach. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, dude.
I think we have to ask the same questions of him that we have asked of Donald Trump since 2016, and that is, if he were CEO and he turned in a performance like that, would any corporation in America, any Fortune 500 corporation in America, keep him on as CEO?
No, asking a liberal to explain, like, political favor, you know, or a neoliberal. Okay, imagine a board of directors.
If this were Donald Trump, time and time again, we talked about the Goldwater. Where's the Barry Goldwater? To walk over and tell Richard Nixon it was over, to tell Donald Trump.
Comparing it to Nixon, comparing it to the Goldwater Nixon Dude.
The question is, we know Joe Biden can govern. And again, I'll debate that issue with anyone and I will win.
For somebody whose job is as tied to glazing Joe Biden as this man, to be asking these questions, like genuinely, it's more over than I could have even imagined.
Vaush hasn't felt this bad since he opened his lolly folder on stream. Dude is actually broken. And isn't it funny how quickly Vaush jumped on the dropout train? Well, who could blame him, honestly? You have had guys like Joe Scarborough running interference for Joe Biden since the first election, talking about how Joe Biden is totally cogent and even extremely sharp.
I've said it for years now. He's cogent. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, you know, I don't know if people know this or not. Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, you know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
The defensive cover the media has ran for this guy for years has robbed these poor little commies out of the candidate they really wanted. And as a former Ron Paul supporter, I gotta say, I can really feel the pain through the monitor. But I can't help but to revel in their discomfort over this whole situation, because you know for a fact that they would be doing the same if the debate had happened in reverse. But that's not the only person in the media showing signs of cutting ties with Joe. Vaush spent this whole stream dooming, watching clip after clip of the media questioning Joe, or just outright cutting ties. Check this out.
We just have a lineup of like everyone saying that it's over. Van Jones.
That was painful. I love Joe Biden. I work for Joe Biden. He didn't do well at all. I love that guy. That's a good man. He loves his country. He's doing the best that he can. But he had a test to meet tonight to restore confidence of the country and of the base. And he failed to do that. And there is time for this party to figure out a different way forward if he will allow us to do that.
Dude, everyone, literally everyone. I thought it was just going to be like the lefties, dude. Nate Silver? Joe Biden should drop out. Nate Silver?
I mean, you debated against then Vice President Vice President Biden 4 years ago. And he was a very different person on the stage 4 years ago when you debated him. You must, I mean, that's certainly true, is it not?
Anderson.
What is this a joke? Are you like an anime character who got asked a difficult question? And this is exactly what I mean about the DNC being responsible for this. It's not just incompetence, it's that ideologically, the arrogant motherfuckers in the DNC do not believe that popular appeal is an important component of running a presidential candidate. They don't factor it in. It's not a part of their plan. What the people want, what's popular, none of it matters. They're arrogant enough to think that they're the only adults in the room. They're the only ones who have forgotten what politics is about. Politics is about blood and tears. That's all it's ever been about. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you are. What matters is how you sell yourself. Donald Trump can present his case. His case is evil, but he can present it. People resonate with it, but now the DNC doesn't even understand. They don't even understand now. They've completely forgotten like what democracy is about. They think to the Democrats, the voters are an inconvenient procedural mechanism that one must navigate in order to attain power.
You can't honestly say, I mean, can you say that you are not concerned at all having watched the president's performance tonight?
It was a slow start. That's obvious to everyone. I'm not going to debate that point. I'm talking about the choice in November. I'm talking about one of the most important elections.
They hate you. They hate you, man. They want you dead. They don't care. You're an inconvenient little mechanism. You're just like a little cog in a big machine that they can poke at to like occasionally get the power that they need to, you know, justify the $60,000 a plate New York fundraising dinners that they all love attending, you know?
How's the Biden campaign and surrogates reacting this
That's
morning?
great,
I mean,
man.
they're making it pretty clear. It sounds like he's not dropping out.
They are absolutely maintaining that he is going to stay in the race. Not only that, but that he is committed to still attending and debating in September. But what they also acknowledge is that it was a lackluster performance by
Are they
the president.
acknowledging that? Are they? Who's acknowledging that? Are they? Are they doing that?
Look, as much as I hate Vaush and think he's a total creep after that whole lolly folder thing, you gotta admit the guy is making halfway decent points here. The DNC totally screwed the pooch on this one. Like, regardless of what side you're on and how you feel about this. You can't tell me that if the DNC wasn't stealing nominations away from Bernie Sanders, that the Democratic Party wouldn't have had a hell of a better chance at winning this coming election. I think that just like the Republicans did, that the lefties are finally getting sick of what the media is shoving down their throats and just totally forcing on them. Although if you're a Republican, you probably love to see them shoot themselves in their own foot. You know what? Let's take a look at how the media shoved lefties' worries aside in the 2020 election. Check this out.
We have been asking voters at various events that we've been following Biden at about these gaps. Do they matter? Do they cause them to kind of reevaluate his campaign? And almost every voter that we've talked to here has said no.
No, words matter a lot. And they got the point across. You're the only guys that didn't understand it. Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
And of course, it was a rare, unfiltered opportunity to watch Biden being Biden.
Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth. Out of $1.4 billion. It's hard to even say it, it's so much. And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
You see, it's not so hard to see what Vaush is so broken about now, eh? I mean, the seething makes a whole lot of sense when you look at it like that. And it's not like they could even run a third party. Lefties are kinda stuck with what the establishment feeds them, till they get their own Trump-like figure that could break the current mold of the party. And the people internal at the DNC doesn't want to let that happen. But with all this talk about Joe Biden's mental decline and possible dropping out, does anyone remember how well-spoken Joe Biden was when he was one of the youngest people to ever get elected to Senate at the age of 29?
Senator Biden, it's nice to have you here. As the youngest member of the Senate, the one, therefore, who may expect the longest career there, I wonder if you'd say to us, since it's clear that you're not corrupt and you got elected, why should people think that the system produces corrupt results when there you are?
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that, though. The system does produce corruption, and I think implicit in the system is corruption, when in fact, whether or not you can run for public office, and it costs a great deal of money to run for the United States Senate, even from a small state like Delaware, you have to go to those people who have money, and they always want something.
Sheesh. Time comes for us all, guys. Like, regardless of how you feel about this guy, it's hard to see someone rot in their own brain in front of the entire world. Like, I had a grandpa that died of Alzheimer's, so it's kinda hard to watch, honestly. But they're forcing him down everyone's throat. They are the ones doing this to him. We all know he isn't the one deciding to make videos like this.
This is, yeah, remember, just never forget what last night was like, man. Don't forget, man. I dressed up for this shit. They could have just not done the debates. What in the f were they thinking? They weren't thinking, man. Also, they hate us. They despise us. Where's the video? Find me the video. Where's the video of Joe Biden? Here we go. This is how he competently announces that he's ready for the debate.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
5 cuts in a 13-second video announcing that he's ready to do a debate.
Sheesh. It seems like that's just how they film this guy now. It just seems like they're using multiple angles now so they could hide all the cuts they have to do to make this coherent video. Like, check out this one that they just posted on Twitter. When you understand the angle changes are really just there to hide stumbles, it tells quite the story.
Democracy is the essence of who we are. We're the most unique nation in the world in that we're not united based on race, ethnicity, geography. We're based on idea. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all women and men are created equal. It's in our Declaration of Independence, in our Constitution. They're the 2 things that are the guardrails to make sure democracy is able to be sustained. It's all about being able to show up and vote, be able to have an opportunity to get a fair deal, get an even chance. It all rests upon our Constitution, and democracy is the vehicle and the method that holds that together.
Jeez, the video editors and camera guys are really putting in work on this one, guys. Y'all need to give yourself a good old pat on the back. You actually made him sound sort of coherent. You guys probably need a raise for that one. But we all know why this isn't just a single angle. And it's not just to be more engaging. It kind of just seems like they're trying to make this guy look as bad as possible in the eyes of the public right after having that bad debate, so they could really hammer it home with everybody. And maybe it's to possibly increase their chances of swapping this guy out. At least, Vaush is probably praying to his lowly folder about that being the case. Will he get his wishes, though, is the question. And if he does get his wishes, that is, by some miracle, who are they gonna run? Michelle Obama? Gavin Newsom? Kamala? Well, if it happens, my money probably goes on them picking Gavin Newsom. What do you guys think? Well, if you want to see another video like this, check out the previous video I did where Vaush's mental gets absolutely devastated after the debate. Or you could watch this video on how Gavin Newsom rose to prominence in the Democratic Party.